Good day everyone, today we'll be discussing chromosomal basis of inheritance. So sex chromosomes, so human males and females have equal numbers of autosomes, but males have one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, while females have two X chromosomes. So what is heterogametic sex? So sex with two different sex chromosomes, and homogametic sex, sex with two of the same sex chromosomes. So that's a picture of X and Y chromosome. So the X chromosome in humans contain more than 1,500 genes. The much smaller Y chromosome has 231 protein encoding genes. So in meiosis in male, the X and Y chromosomes act as if they are a pair of homologs. So Y chromosome has a distinctive overall structure with a short arm and a long arm. So it has a pseudo-autosomal regions, or what we call par 1 and par 2 at both tips, comprising only 5% of the chromosome. So 63 pseudo-autosomal genes are so called because they have counterparts on X chromosome and can cross over with them. So that's a picture. At both tips, merong pseudo-autosomal region. Ano yung SRY? That's sex-determining region of Y, where the MSY is the male-specific region of the Y. So the Y chromosome, the pseudo-autosomal genes encode a variety of proteins that function in both sexes, participating in or controlling such activities as bone growth, cell division, immunity, signal transduction, synthesis of hormones and receptors, fertility, and energy metabolism. So the bulk of the Y chromosome is in its large central area. Ang tawag nga dun is the male-specific region, comprising 95% of the chromosome. So the MSY lies between the two pseudo-autosomal regions and consists of three classes of DNA sequence. So yung SRY naman is the sex-determining region Y, the testis-determining factor, other term siya dun. It stimulates male development by sending signals to undifferentiated gonads to develop into a testis. Then, sustentacular cells in the testis secrete the anti-Mullerian hormone, which stops the development of female structures. Kaya wala masyadong female structures yung mga male kasi nga sinosuppress siya nung hormone. So the interstitial cells in the testis secretes testosterone that stimulates development of male internal structures. So sexual identity, may mga level yan. So titingnan natin kung ano yung mga events at kung ano yung timing. So chromosomal genetic, pag X and Y nga male, dalawang X female. So ang timing doon is during the fertilization. Ang gonadal sex, undifferentiated structures begin to develop as testes or ovary, so that's 6 weeks after fertilization. Pag phenotypic sex naman, doon na nagpo-produce development of external internal reproductive structures in response to the hormone, so that's 8 weeks after fertilization. At nalabas din siya ulit during puberty. So we also have gender identity, strong feelings of being male or female develop. So that's from childhood, possibly earlier. Then the sexual orientation, yung attraction mo to same or opposite sex, that's starting from the childhood. So what are the traits inherited on sex chromosome? So genes carried on Y chromosome are Y-link, while those sa X chromosome X-link. So Y-link traits are rare. Bakit? Because it has only few genes and have many counterparts on the X chromosomes. So genes on X chromosome have different patterns of expression in females and males. Bakit? Kasi females have two X chromosomes while males have only one. So in females, kailangan ng dalawang copies of a recessive allele and a one copy for a dominant allele. Pag lalaki naman, kailangan lang ng isang copy ng X-link to cause expression of the trait or illness. Bakit? Kasi no copy of the gene on a second chromosome to mask the other's effect. So a man inherits a sex-linked trait only from his mother because he gets his Y chromosome from his father. Kasi nga yun lang mga male yung merong Y chromosome. So what is X-linked recessive inheritance? So it is an X-linked recessive trait is expressed in female if the causative allele is present in two copies. So pag recessive nga, kailangan ng dalawang copies or dapat mother and father meron para lumabas yung effect niya. So many times an X-linked trait passes from an unaffected heterozygous mother to unaffected son. So criteria for an X-linked recessive trait always expressed in male. Bakit nga? Kasi iisa ang X ng lalaki. So mapa-recessive man yun or dominant, once na affected si mother, pag naipasa yun sa lalaki niyang anak, maging affected na din kasi isa nga yung X ng lalaki. So expressed in a female homozygote but very rarely in a heterozygote, pass from heterozygote or homozygote mother to affected son. So affected female has an affected father and a mother who is affected or heterozygote. So pag X-linked dominant naman, dominant X-linked conditions and traits are rare. So genes expression differs between genes. So a male who inherits the allele is usually more severely affected because he has no other allele to offset it. Hindi katulad ng females na meron pa silang extra X na chromosome. So criteria. So X-linked dominant trait can be expressed in female in one copy, much more severe effects in males. So high rates of miscarriage due to early lethality in males, pass from male to all daughters but not to sons. So what are the some diseases related to X chromosomes? We have the agammaglobulinemia. So symptoms is lack of antibodies, Alport syndrome, deafness and kidney inflammation, chronic granulomatous disease, skin and lung infection, enlarged liver and spleen. We also have diabetes insipidus, copious urination. We also have hypophosphatemia, vitamin D resistant rickets. We also have Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. It causes mental retardation, self-mutilation, and urinary stones. Menkes disease, ang palatandaan sa kanya is yung kinky hair. We also have retinitis pigmentosa, constriction of visual field, night blindness, clumps of pigment in the eye. We also have Rett syndrome, mental retardation, and neurodegradation. We also have severe combined immunodeficiency, lack of T and B lymphocytes. Prescott-Aldrich syndrome causes bloody diarrhea, infection, rash, and so we also have sex-limited traits. So affects a structure or function of the body that is present in only males or only females. So we also have beard growth, breast development, inherited medical conditions in pregnancy. So yun yung preeclampsia. So it is the sudden increase in blood pressure in pregnant women as the birth nears. We also have sex influence trait. It is an allele is dominant in one sex but recessive in the other. So, anong example niyan? Baldness, allele is dominant in male but recessive in female. That's why more men than women are bald.